What's going on? Will Freeman, revolutionarylifestyles.com, talking to you about why focus is everything. Not just why focus is everything, focus is everything. I talk a lot about state being a combination of your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations in your body. Your entire life is nothing but a series of state changes. Okay? And the way that you recognize what state you're in is by focus. You're always focusing on something. There's no such thing as being unfocused. When people say you lack focus, what they mean is just your focus is not consistent. You're looking around, oh, that's a dog, oh, that's a chair. But you're changing your focus. Okay, when people say you do have focus, they mean that your focus is consistent on one thing. Okay, but it's a misnomer. The reality is you're always focusing on something. Another word for focus could be awareness. You're always in awareness. You're always aware of something, whether you realize it or not. So what you focus on is what you become. Okay? Throughout the day, we're going through these states. Good state, bad state, interested state, energetic state, low energy state, sad state, grateful state. These are just names, these are just reference points to try and approximate your reality. But that's ultimately what your reality looks like from day to day. And whenever you're aware of your state, I feel bad, that's what you're focused on. You're focused on these bad feelings. Usually the bad feelings, at least for me, it'll be a slight sense of nausea, a bit overheat, might be some pressure in the solar plexus. Usually, I'm feeling a little bit unhealthy, like my body's not physically feeling good and relaxed. And those things will combine on top of maybe some negative thought spiral or some goal I missed or something that's not going well in my business or whatever. And then the thought will come up, I feel bad, or I'm unhappy, or X. And now I've focused on something negative, okay? These negative thoughts, these negative states will come to you. It's what you do with the state that matters, okay? They'll come to you as the spirit, just as the consciousness itself comes to you. Just as me, the character in your reality, comes to you. Not you, the body, right? You, the spirit. You, the will. Okay? The will is everything. It's your will to exist that created the body, that the consciousness comes to. Okay? And that will is always being focused on one thing or the other. If you're sitting there focused on, I'm in a bad state, I'm feeling bad, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to continue to feel bad. So everything, this state is always within your control. Okay? Outside objective experience isn't always in your control, although you have more control than you think, but your state is. So your state all comes down to focus. Okay? You're always focusing on one thing or the other. When you focus on bad things, you're going to feel bad because you literally become whatever you focus on, right? Or the illusion of it. Whatever your awareness is, whatever your will is towards, whatever your, focus is on is what you become. That's what your reality becomes. It's not real, but it feels real. And then there's the narrative behind it. I feel terrible. It's a fleeting thought. It's a fleeting state. But because of this billions of years of evolutionary programming, this is the narrative you tell yourself, and you suffer because of it, right? When all you need to do is, number one, become aware of it and change focus. Recognize the entire name of the game is just focus. So instead of focusing on how bad you feel, one quick focus change is to get back to work, right? Get back to work. Even if you're feeling tired in terms of the work that you have to do, just remind yourself that's a fucking lie. Same thing as when you're your brain is giving you a signal like, oh, I can't do one more rep in the gym. That's a lie. You know? Oh, I can't do another day. That's a lie. Right? Recognize through your awareness that you become aware of negative state and change the focus. The entirety of the game is just focus. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, focus change. And the most logical thing is to change your focus to things that are going to be positive for you. Almost always, a lot of the time, the positive is a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. And it takes hardness to be happy. It takes mental toughness to be happy. To be able to be in the midst of this really negative, sad, painful thought spiral, just be able to take a deep breath, not need to cry on anybody's shoulder, not need to play a victim, not need to feel sorry for yourself. Be able to take that in, just recognize, be aware of it. I'm running a negative narrative. There's physical sensations within my body that I've deemed to be negative. And I feel in my heart center, my heart chakra, a type of weight. Okay? Now I've focused on what the problem was, and then I'm going to ask myself to reframe, like, how do I get out of this? What's the solution? Sometimes the best solution is to work out. Sometimes the best solution is literally just to be aware of all that and it'll go away on its own. A lot of the time, the best solution is just to go back to your work, okay? Because your feelings are liars. They're always telling you to stop working, or you're too tired, or you need that donut, or some other fucking lie. When all you need to do is just become aware of that, focus on that, and then focus on reframing that towards a beneficial, positive state that's going to benefit you in the future. Now, the balance that I try to maintain is 50% for today, 50% for the future. All right? Sometimes you got to equalize that. You know, when I came out here to Europe for the first month or so, I was out every night. So I was probably living 70% for today, 30% for the future. So I needed to make that debt up. I did the same thing when I moved to Chiang Mai the first time. So I've been paying that debt back because I owed myself that debt in terms of living 70% for the future, 30% for today for the last month and a half or so. But ultimately, the focus that I want to maintain is 50% for today, 50% for the future. The entirety of the game is just focus though. Like, there's a building behind me, focus on that. There's a car, focus on that. Oh, that car's purple, focus on that. Okay, there's my finger, focus on that. Those are neutral focuses, okay, but we can infuse negativity with that. See that like little purple car? Imagine if that was my car, and I'd say, man, I hate that I have a purple car. It was the only car that I could afford. It was my mom's car, and I feel like such a loser driving it. All of a sudden, you've chosen to focus on an object. You've ascribed that object to your own self-image, and you've chosen to ascribe a negative emotion behind that. When in reality, you literally just, out of all the infinite amount of places, ideas, things, information to focus on, you chose that one. You chose a very present, imminent, negative, material thing to focus on, okay? I mean, when you get an idea of what that actually means and how often you do that, it's gonna seem so fucking ridiculous that that's been your reality for so long, okay? Don't get me wrong, I used to live like this for the longest time until I figured out what's up, until, you know, Ramana Maharshi, Nisargadatta Maharaj, Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle. I'll give RSD a little bit of credit there too. I mean, not every one of those is a perfect saint. Some of them are, like Christ and Ramana, but they've at least awoken you to the idea that like this entire play is being created for you. Okay, you're in your consciousness, and you get to dictate what you're going to see in front of the screen. You get to dictate what you focus on. You get to dictate where you live. You know, you focus on where you live. You focus on what kind of information you consume. You focus on who you let in your reality. You focus, all that stuff, is within your purview. The entire game is you're focusing on this and not focusing on that, focusing on that and not focusing on this. Okay? If you can actually harness your will to have a laser beam focus on the kind of success that you want day after day, and ignore your feelings that are lying to you. Okay, same thing in the gym. Same thing in terms of becoming more attractive to women. Same thing in terms of focusing on the kind of relationships that you want to have and putting that effort in. It's fucking over for your competitors, man. Because everyone else in the world is focusing on every fucking thing that comes into their reality. Or they're distracted by choosing to focus on celebrity gossip for 2 hours. Or they choose to focus on bad food and that takes them out of action for 3 hours. I mean, the competition is nil when you're able to focus. So change your focus, man. Focus is everything. Motion creates emotion. You are what you focus on. You become what you focus on, or at least the illusion of it. You really are the Holy Spirit, and all this shit is just coming to you. But it sure as hell feels like you focus. It's just a matter of state changes, right? So whatever you're focusing on, that becomes what feels like your reality. That becomes what feels like what you are, is what you focus on. Okay? So change your focus, make it consistent, make it happen day after day, year after year, over time, and it's over for your competitors. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, man.